Okay, so the first question we have here is use self. Think of a number n. You can see the n there. He adds 3. His answer is greater than or equal to -5 and less than 17. Write the correct inequality sign to complete this inequality. So this question is under inequality. You are required to put the right inequality, which means this greater than or equal to, okay, and less than. So greater than equal to, depending where you're having your number, if you have your x this way, 2, this expression here means x is greater than equal to x. And if you have your x like this expression here means x greater than 2. We have done a video on inequality, so you can check it out. So here we have that uh, n plus 3, which is n add to 3, is greater than or equal to -5. So we are going to have our greater than or equal to -5. And they say the same expression here is less than 17. So this is less than 17. So this is what you are expected to do in that question. Okay, so moving on to number 2, you are being tested on your knowledge on fractional indexes. What does that mean? If you have 1 over an, which is equals to a minus n, so this is what we are just being tested on. So if you look at this expression here, if you write this expression in fractional index, you are going to have that 200 raised to power minus 3 is going to give you 1 over 200 raised to power 3. So, and of course, they don't want you to leave your answer in this form. They just ask you to find the value of the W here. So the W here, if you look at it, that's equivalent to 3. So that will give you 3 here. All right, so that's that. Then coming to simultaneous equation, which is number 3. Of course, this is paper 1. You are not expected to use calculator. So you have to use a method that is so simple for you to solve without the use of calculator. Now, if you look at the question we have here, in simultaneous equation, I always advise students to make use of elimination method if no method is given to you, because it's a little bit simpler and straightforward. Now, and how do we solve elimination method? All we need to do is to first of all decide on which of the uh, variable to eliminate, whether it's x or y to eliminate. Then if we decide on that, the next step to do is to make the coefficient of that variable which we want to eliminate to be equal irrespective of the sign. That's without considering the minus or plus, just make the value to be the same. We say that we're trying to make the magnitude of the coefficient of the variable to be the same. So in this case, of course, these are paper 1 and the mark is 2 marks, so they don't expect you to work so much. It won't be a good idea for you to go and start making x, okay, making the coefficient of x to be the same, whereby the magnitude of the coefficient of y in the two equations are already the same. So all you need to do here is to add, okay? And why are we adding? We are adding because when you have -2 plus 2, that will give you 0. So that the coefficient of so that the variable y can be able to be eliminated from the both equations. Okay. Now, if both of them, if the coefficient you want or the variable you want to eliminate, both of them has the same sign. Let's say, for instance, you have plus and plus here, then you are going to minus. When you minus, it will eliminate. And if they have minus minus here, you're also going to do what? Minus. So how I always say it in a way that students can be able to remember it easily is that when the coefficients are the same, okay, when the coefficients are the same, when the signs are the same, you subtract. When the signs are different, you add. Okay, so the signs are different here, so we are adding. When you add, x plus 5x will give you 6x, minus 2y plus 2y will give you 0. So you have equal to 2 plus 58 will give you 60. So you now divide both sides by 6. So you have this, we have this, that's 1. So your x here will give you 10. So you have gotten the value of your s. The next thing to do is to put this value of s in any of these equations to be able to find the value of y. Now, it's always best that you put it in the simplest equation that you can so that you can get your value of y. So we are going to, let's call this one here equation 1 and call this one here equation 2. So let us put it in equation 1. So we can say put x equals to 10 in equation 1. So that will give us 10 minus 2y equals to 2. So we solve this is the simple equation. Most of the topic here, we have already treated it as a topic in our video. So you can go to our YouTube channel to check some of them out. So when you have this, you solve this simple equation. This one move over here, this one come in. So I have 10 minus 2 equals to 2y. So that will give me 8 equals to 2y. When you divide both sides by 2, let's finish it up here. 8 divided by 2 equals to 2y over 2. This and this will go. This here 1, this here 4. So I have that y equals to 4. So you are done. You come back here and write your answer. Remember, in external exam, any space provided to you to write your answers, please write your answer there, please. Okay, to avoid losing a mark. Okay. So the question 4 we have is a question on exterior angles of a regular polygon. We have also done a video on that, so you can go and check it out in our YouTube channel. So exterior angle, there's a formula which is exterior angle equals to 360 over n. So that is the value of each exterior angle of a regular polygon. So with this now, we can say that 360 over the number of sides is 10. Okay, is 10. So with this, we can say that each exterior angle here is 36 degrees. So we'll write our 36 degrees is the degree sign is already here. So we'll move to our next question. Okay, so number 5 question is also 1 mark. So most of these 1 mark questions, you have to always be careful so that you can be able to get the whole mark, because most times any type of mistake that you do in all these 1 mark questions, you are likely to just lose the 1 mark. But most of the questions that has about 3 marks and all that, any good attempt that or your method or your answers that are correct, you might get 1 or 2 or the 3 marks. So you have to always be careful. So look, this question is on sequence. Now, whenever there's a question on sequence, if they are not asking you to find the nth term, which is the pattern of the sequence, then they might be asking you for the next term, okay? Or you might be given a sequence and you are not asked to find or finish it up, just like what we have here. Now, if you look at this problem here, you won't just try to start solving each term or each of them to see how it's moving so that you can be able to solve this. Now, try to, first of all, find where the pattern is in the whole of this. Okay, so it might not be here, it might be somewhere else. So when you look at this expression given to us, you notice that we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. At least you can notice a pattern there, which is all the odd numbers starting from 1. So we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So there are two different from each other. So the next term is going to be what? 11. Okay, now let us come here. So we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You know that the next one is going to be what? 12. Okay, so like that, we look at the next one, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. What do you think the next number should be? 12. So you write your 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next number should be what? 6. Okay, so this is where you are going to do your arithmetic. Then whatever you have as your answer, you will write it down. So let's do that. 11 times 12, that will give you 2 times 1, that will give you 2 times 1, that will give you 2. 2 times 1 also, that will give you another 2. 1 times 1 will give you 1, 1. So you add it up, that will give you 2 here, 3 here, and 1 here. So this is what you have here, minus 12 times 6. 12 times 6 will give you, this is 12. So you take 1, so that's 72. So you are going to have 132 minus 72. So that will give you 0 here, 13 minus 7. 13 minus 7 will give us 6. So that's 60. So you have your 60 here. Okay, so you can see how we solve that problem just following the pattern of the numbers, and we get our answer. Okay, so we have question 6. This question is on order of rotational symmetry of a polygon. So it's always clear that whenever we have k lines of symmetry of a polygon, that the order of rotation of that polygon is in k. So the answer for this question number 6 is k. The order of rotational symmetry is k. Okay, so which is the third box. So let's move to number 7. In question 7, which we have A and B, they say Pierre, Mike and Pierre are each asked to write an equation of two lines that have a positive y-intercept. Okay, so they both gave us two equations. So they are now asking us which one of them is correct. So first of all, let me sketch in a situation we have positive y-intercept. Okay, so when you have your line, and this is what we mean by positive y-intercept. Okay, okay, so this is your y-intercept here. That's positive. Now, when are we going to have negative y-intercept? This is when this line is below the center O, this center O here. So this is your plus y, and this is your minus y. This is your plus y here, and this is your minus. So in this case, we have negative y-intercept. Okay, we have negative y-intercept. So the negative y-intercept or positive y-intercept does not have anything to do with the gradient. The gradient can be positive, the gradient can be negative, and we still have positive or negative y-intercept. So in this case, I have in an equation, when do we know the intercept? The general form of a straight line is y equals to mx plus c, where this c here is the y-intercept. So this is also regarded as what? C. Okay, if we are using this uh, as our general equation of a straight line. So if you look here, this one here is positive, this one here is positive, this here is positive, this here is positive. So both of them, both Mike and Pire, has a positive y-intercept for the equation that both of them gave us. So we mark that two of them are correct. So in what we just solved in the previous question, which we have y equals to mx plus c, where m here is the gradient, okay, and c here is the intercept, okay, on y-axis. So they are now asking us to find the uh, gradient and the y-intercept. So whenever you are asked a question like this to find the gradient and y-intercept, okay, so the first thing to do is to express the equation given to you in form of this, okay. That's the first thing to do. So if we write this equation in this form, I have to take these 3x to meet 7. So I'm going to have 7 minus 3x equal to y, which you can write as y equals to minus 3x plus y. Oh, plus 7, sorry. Plus 7. So you can see that the m, which is the coefficient of x, is minus 3. So that's our gradient, minus 3. And the constant, which is the y-intercept, is plus 7. Plus 7. Okay, in this question, they ask us to take to show if each conversion is correct or not. Okay, they are asking us this conversion, is it correct, or this conversion, is this correct? This 60 nanometer to millimeter. Of course, 1 millimeter is equals to 1 times 10 raised to power 6 nanometer. So you can see that is an extremely little measuring unit for length. So this one is wrong because if you have 6 of these, it will be way more than 60 of nanometer. So it's not correct. Then you move to the next one, which is gigabyte and megabyte. It's obvious that megabyte is far little compared to gigabyte, so is not correct. Okay, so number 9 question is that we are asked to represent this on a number line. Okay, so this is a combined inequality where you can actually split it minus 2 less than x, and you also have x less than, oh, minus 2 is less than s, and s is less than or equals to 4. So you can actually represent them individually. Remember, this one we make use of this one we make use of shaded circle. Okay, so let's come to minus 2. Okay, these are minus 2. Minus 2 is less. Okay, simply means that x is greater than minus 2. So that will move this way. And we come to 4, which is here. We shade it. Then x is less or equal to 4. That's why we have already shaded that small circle there. So the place that is less than 4 is this side. Okay, so you can join them together. You can leave it like this. This is your x. So your x starts from here to this. Okay, so that's the range of your. This is in question 10. If you look at the shape we have and the information given to us, it said that the diagram shows a shape made with 3 identical rhombuses. Okay, so identical rhombuses means that the value you have here, so let's call here y, call here y, and call here y. Remember, they are identical. So what does that mean? Therefore, we have that uh, 70 plus 70 plus 70 plus y plus y plus y is sum of angle in a, or sum of angle at a point. So that will give us 360 degrees. So these ones here will give us 210 degrees plus 3y equals to 360 degrees. So 3y equals to 360 minus 210. That's 210 degrees moving towards this side. So we have our uh, that's 3y equal to this minus this will give you 150. So when you divide both sides by 2, so 3y, keep writing 360y. Let me erase that. Okay, so that will give us 3y over 3 equals to 150 over 3. So 3 will cancel out 3 here. You have y equals to 150 divided by 3 will give you 50 degrees. Okay, remember this is not our answer. We are not asked to find y, but we solve for y in order for us to find the value of x. So if you remember properties of a rhombus, okay, the two adjacent sides equals to 180 degrees. So what does that mean? If the two adjacent sides equals to 180 degrees, therefore, we can imply that y plus x is equals to 180 degrees. So with that, we know the value of y, which is 50, plus s equals to 180 degrees. So we can say that s equals to 180 degrees minus 50 degrees. So that will give us that s equals to 130 degrees. So that is our final answer. So we'll go to the space provided and write our. Okay, the next question is on stem and leaf. On stem and leaf, okay. So we are told that Gabriela collects the height of 11 indoor plants and 12 outdoor plants, okay. The table and the incomplete back-to-back stem and leaf diagram shows information about our results. Okay, so we have given the modal height, we are given the minimum height, and we are given the range. So we are now asked to represent the, okay, so this is the diagram given to us. They say that incomplete, okay, so some things are still missing. They say use the information in the table to complete the back-to-back stem and leaf diagram. Okay, so if you look at the information given to us is about the outdoor plants. Okay, so it simply means that we don't have any problem. And even the question asked is on the outdoor, so we don't have any problem with the indoor plants. So let's come to the outdoor. So using the range first, that's what we'll do first. So knowing that the range of a statistical data is the difference between the highest and the lowest, and the lowest have been given to us as 17. So we need to find the highest. If you look at this, 41 minus 17 will not give us 56. So we need to find the value. So let's call the value x. So x minus 15 will give us 6. So take this one over here. We have that x is plus 15. So which will give us 43. So 43 is the highest value, and we have 41 here. So we need to come here. So we have completed the table of the stem and leaf. So let's look at the next question here. The next question says that we should calculate the range of the height for the indoor plant. So we first of all get uh, the value of the lowest and the highest. So the value we have for the lowest is 0.9, okay, which is this 0.9, and the highest we have is 30, which is 30. So we come down here and solve that. So 30 minus 0.9. Okay, so that's how we have solved that problem, which is coming from statistics, system analysis. So the next question we have is uh, substitution of values. So let's quickly do this. We are given that n equals to 3, and we have an expression which we are going to impute the value of n. That will give us 3 raised to power 4 plus 29 all over 3 plus 7. So 3 raised to power 4, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. We're going to have 81 plus 29 all over 10. So which will give us 29 plus 81 will give us 1. Okay, all over 10. 0 cancel 0. What we have left, and we are going. Okay, so let's move to the next question. The next question is on standard form. So these are a whole number, okay, a number greater than 1. So we are asked to put it in standard form. So it's a very simple task. So 26000 will give us you take the way I normally do this. I put point here if there is none. I count how many places I have to move it to get one digit. That will take me 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 6 point. So I'll come here. Please make sure you write your answer. Okay. So the next one is this. You should write it in ordinary number. Okay. So we have 8.13 minus 3. The way I normally teach students to do this easily is that when you have minus, just take the number of negative index that you have, put the zeros. That will give us 0, 0, 3 zeros. Okay. So we have our 8. That will give us 0. Okay, so moving to the next one here, they say that the diagram shows a shape made from 6 congruent uh, quadrilateral triangles and a regular hexagon. Okay. Now say that the regular hexagon has an area of 140 cm. So we are asked to find the area of it. Okay. This triangle, when you fold all this triangle inside, okay, you will notice that you are going to have some M shape. Okay, don't mind my diagram. It's going to be the same shape, meaning that this one here is the same thing with this one. This one here is we have 6 of it. Okay, so it simply means that you notice that's 3 of the equilateral triangles that will make up this hexagon. So if you divide this 140 by 6, that will give you the area of each. But now you are asked to find the area of A, which is half of the hexagon. So all you need to do is to say 140 over 2. That will give you 70. Okay, so you say 7 feet. Okay, so we move to the next question. Okay, in the next question is a question on graph. So we are to plot our frequency polygon. Okay, so we have, if you look at what we have here, we have from 4 to 8, from 8 to 12. Okay, from 4 to less than 8, from 8 to less than 12, from 12 to less than. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to identify the point. So we have from 4 to 8, 8 to 12. Now, when you have a polygon, let's say you draw a histogram, okay, the frequency polygon is the middle point. You have to locate the middle point of this, then you now connect all these middle points. That's how we draw our frequency polygon. Okay, so with that, we can just locate the middle point of each of these. So from 8, from 4 to 8 is going to give us 8. So we have the middle point. Let's count the four of our middle point. This 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 is the middle. 1, 2, 3. So this line is the middle. So we trace it to get to 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are first points. Then we now come between 8 and 12, which is 7. So we move to 7. This is 8 here. So we count also 1, 2, 3, 4, which is here. Okay, so we check for between 12 and 16, 3. So 12 and 16, that's 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the middle of that one. Then between 16 and 20, between 16 and 20, we have 2. So 16 is here. Place it up to 2. Then we count 1, 2, 3, 4 to get the middle between 16 and 20. And the last one, 20 and 24, which is 3 also. So we from 20 to 3, and we look for the middle, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so with our straight ruler, we can join all these points. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so when you use your straight ruler to join the point, so this is what you are. All right, so let's move to the next thing. They now ask us to draw a ring right round around the interval that contains the median. Okay, so we need to find the median max. Now, first of all, is to find the total. So what is the total? 8 plus 7, that will give us 15. 15 plus 3, that will give us 18. 18 plus 2 will give us 20. And 20 plus 3 will give us total of 3. Now, the middle number of 23 numbers is 12. Okay, because you have 11 here, you have 11 here. 12th number is the middle number. So let's find where the 12th number is. So we have 8 numbers here. When you count uh, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is our interest, 13, 14, 15. So the 12th number is in this class, okay, this range. So we go back to our question there and circle up the range that contains. Yeah. So let's move to the next one. Okay, so here is a decimal. They say use these parts to convert 7 uh, over 9 to decimal. Okay, give your answer correct to 3 decimal places. So it's very simple. If you have 1 over 9 as equal to 0.1, okay, that dot there simply means that we have dot, 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 dot. Okay, continue in that pattern. So we need to now ask ourselves, when you take 7 into 1 over 9, when you take 7 into 1 over 9, that will give you 0.1. 1 dot times 7, which is 0.7 dot. Okay, but they say that you should leave your answer in 3 decimal places. What is the meaning of this? The meaning of 0.1 dot is 0.111. Okay, so let's cancel out this one since it's 3 decimal places. Okay, so now this one here will simply means 0.7777. Okay, and when you take the 3 decimal places, you're going to have 0.7. Don't give us 0. So please don't leave your answer in 0.7 dots. That'll just give you 1 mark. You need to give a clue of what is happening. All right, so the next thing we have here is a question on sequence, okay, which involve pattern. They say you should complete, they are giving a sequence, a pattern here, pattern here, pattern here. They say complete this sentence. The first one has done for you, okay, so the first one has been done for us. So they ask us to find, the number of white counter in pattern 5. If you notice, okay, I need you to notice a pattern here. So we have 1 here, 2 here. 2 here is when we have 3, pattern 3. So we have 2 here and 2 here. Okay, so of course you're going to have 2 times 2 here, then plus 2 plus 2. For this one, 3 here, 3 here. So we have 3 here, 3 here. That's for pattern 4. So we first of all have 3 times 3 plus 2 times 3. So what is the pattern? The pattern now is when you have n as 3, so n as 3 will give you n minus 1 square, okay, plus 2 n minus 1. So this is like what we are having here. 2 times 2 square, that's for pattern 3, plus 2 times 3 minus 1, okay, times 2 of it, which is what we have here. So when you open this bracket here, you have minus 2n plus 1. This one will give you plus 2. So this one and this one will go. So I'll have n square minus. So this is the n stamp. It means that given. So that's why the one that has they say the number of white counter in 4, pattern 4 will give us 4 square minus 1, which is 16. So for pattern 5 will give us 5 square minus 5 square minus 1 will give us 25. Okay, so the one for pattern 100 will give us pattern 100 will give us 100 square minus 1, which is 10000. That will give us 9. So that's the answer for those 2 questions. Now they now ask us to find the nth term, okay, which we have already done. We can do that again. Copy any of these here, okay, to do that. Or let's write it out. So that will give us m minus 1 square plus 2 into n minus. That will give us n square minus. Okay, let's do it gradually. M minus 1 into n plus 2n minus 2. When you open this bracket, this and this will give you n square n minus a plus 1 plus 2n minus 2. So these two here will give you minus 2n plus 1 plus 2n. So this and this will be cancelled out, plus this minus this will give you, okay, n square minus. So let's go to our next question. They said that you should take. Okay, so first thing is that let's look at what this value is. This number here is splitting with 3.7 times 10 raised to power minus 2. So do we have any one? Yes, we have one. Okay, so this one here, what is this? This is 3.7 times 10 raised to power minus 2. Why 10 minus 2? That is because 0.01 is the same thing with 1 times 2. Okay, so with that, 1 times 10 raised to power minus 2 is the same thing with 10 raised to power minus 2, which is this. So this is equivalent to this. Now this one obviously is not the equivalent. Like this one here, so we need to find out. So 3/7 over 1000, that's 10 raised to power 3. Okay, so that will give us 3.7 times 10 raised to power 9. Okay, so this one is equivalent. All right, so let's move to the next one. The next one is a question on our geometry, which we are asked to find the midpoint. Okay, so we have a midpoint, we have point A. They say point A lie on the y-axis and point B lies on the x-axis. Midpoint of A and B is M. P is a midpoint of M and B. Okay, so we are given the value of that midpoint. Okay, we are given the value of the midpoint. They say find the coordinates of A and coordinates of B. Okay, so the first thing we need to do here is to assign a coordinate for A and B, which is 0 and y. Of course, at this point, x value is 0. And also, for B, we have x and 0. Why? That's because at point B, the y value is 0. So what does that mean? It simply means that if I find the midpoint of A and B, so the midpoint of A and B okay, of AB will give me x plus 0 over 2. X plus 0 over 2 will give me x over 2, and y plus 0 over 2 will give me x. So these are actually the coordinates of n, okay, which is x 2. Now, we are now going to look at the coordinates of m and the b. Remember, b is x 0, and m now we have established that m is the same thing with x over 2 and y over 2. So we're going to find the midpoint of these two. So the midpoint of MB is going to give us x plus x over 2 or over 2. That's for x. Then 0 plus y. That's for y. Now, this midpoint, we have the value, which is 60 and 11. That's what we're going to do. So therefore, we say that x plus x over 2 or over 2 will give us 60. So we can solve this gradually. So that will give us x plus x over 2 will give us 3x over 2 equals to these two come over here. So this and this will give us that 3x equals to. So when we divide both sides by 3, we have that s is equal to. We'll come here and write our. Okay, we have gotten s as 80. So let's solve for y. We'll do the same thing. Okay, we'll do the same thing for y, what we did in x. So that will give us that y 0 plus y over 2 will give us y over 2 or over 2 equals to 2. That's what we have. E. Okay, so that's our E here. So 11. So that will give us that y over 2 equals to. So, oh, 11 times 2. So that will give us that 1, 2, and we got some multiply. So we have gotten our x, we have gotten our y. So they ask us to find the coordinates A and B. A, x is 0, and AY now. And for B, Bx is 80, and y. So after solving a problem like this, you can as well check your answer so that you are thinking. So we can find this one now supposed to just be in your blank space where you are using for your working or your worksheet, just to be sure of your answer. I'm going to do that here, so I'm going to clean it afterwards. So I can come here and do that. Find M. M is the midpoint between A and B. So this thing here will give us A. This thing here will give us, this is our M. And between M and the P, which is our P now, our P is going to give us 40 plus 80, 120 divided by 2, that's 3, and 2 plus 0 is 0. Okay, so that's how to check that your answer is correct. All right, so let's move to the next question we have. The next question we have is also inequality. So they say that x is an integer. Of course, integer is a whole number, and 1 is less than cube root of x and less than 2. Complete the statement about x. One possible value of x is square root of 1 give us 1, and square root of 8 give us 2. So the one possible value of x can be any number between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, these are the possible values. So you can pick any of them. Let me pick 3, because square root of 3 will give me a number between 8. Okay, so we are asked to find the total of possible values. So we have it here 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 6 possible values of x. Okay, so the next question we have is also on coordinate geometry, okay, which we are asked to find the value or the point E that lies on a line y equals to 5 minus 2x. So first of all, let's sketch that particular uh, line. Okay, so if I have my line like this, don't mind my straight line. So what this means is that here is 5, that's our y-intercept here. Okay, so it's like this. You can see we have the line E that shows that it's a negative gradient. So they say that P lies on somewhere on this line, and P, the x coordinate of P is negative integer. So for this, we have our x coordinate, which is along this place. This is our negative integer. Okay, so from here to infinity here is negative values of x. So it simply means that our P is somewhere here. Okay, we don't know where exactly, so it's somewhere there. So we test all the numbers, which is -1, -2, -3, -4. So when s is equals to -1, what is going to be our y? Put -1 here, you have 7. When s equals to -2, okay, let's make that. When s equals to -2, you have your y as 9. When s equals to -3, you have your y. Just put your x here. -2 times -3, that will give you 6. 6 plus 5, that will give you 11. So you can see all the possible coordinates that P can be. So we can just pick any one of them here. Okay? So P can be -1. Okay, so our 22nd question is a fraction. So you are asked to give your answer in simplest form, least number. Okay, that's a kind of a mixed fraction. So it's 4 marks. So you have to be careful. You have to work out everything. Okay, you have to work out everything. All right. So, how are we going to do this? Okay, so here we make use of order of arithmetic operation, which is we have a lot of them depending on what we have. In this case, we just have only addition and division, which we can use board mass to solve, which is brackets of division, multiplication, addition. So, in order of arithmetic operation, multiplication and division always comes before addition and subtraction. So that's what we are going to do here. So let's solve that problem. We are going to have 8 over 9 plus, change this one to an improper fraction. 3 times 1 plus 1. That will give us 4 over 3 divided by, this time this is 20 plus 4. That will give you 24 over. So change your division to multiplication. That will give you 8 over 9 plus 4 over 3. Like I said, uh, the order of multiplication, arithmetic operation, multiplication comes before addition. So I'm going to take care of that. So 4 here, 1, 4 here, 6. So that will give us 8 over 9 plus 1 times 5 is 5 over 3 times 6 is. So we take LCM and so LCM of 9 and 18 is 18. 18 divided by 9 is 2. 2 times 8 is 18 plus 18 divided by 18 is 1. 5. So that will give us 1 over. So when you simplify 21 over 18, 3 here, we have 7 over 3 here, we have 6. So that will give you, when you change it to this fraction, which is what you have to give your answer in, you have one whole number. This and this. Okay. So let's move to the last question, which is question number 23. Question number 23, you are given they say that a square has a side length of x and near enlarges this square by increasing each side length by of the square by 200%. Okay, they say the side length of an enlarged square measures ACM. Draw a ring the value of A. So you need to A. Okay, so you can make use of enlargement scale diagram or scaling, or you can actually work it out. And how can we work it out? We can increase this number. If you increase it by 200%, what would that be? So first of all, 200% of x, that will give you what? 200 over 100 of this, and this will go. So 2x is the increase. They say increase it by 2x. So the new length now has become what? 3x. So if it's 3x and this become your k, so this is your 1. Now they now ask us to find the percentage increase in the area. 3x. So you notice that the difference is 2. Or okay, let's find our k. That's k. Let's use scaling. So that'll give us 3x. So that's our k. That means k square will give us 3 square, which is equal to 9. So with this 9, it simply means that you can even find the area of, let's call this A1, call this A2. A1 equals to A square and A2 equals to 9. Okay, because this is what I'm working here with, right? So when you find the difference and find the percentage, which is 9s square minus s square over s square. So that will give you 8s square over s square and 100 over 1. So this and this will cancel out. So that will give you 800. That will give you 800. increase in the area A in large square. All right, so this is where we are going to end our paper one, and we are going to have the next paper, which is paper two. Okay,